What's going on, y'all? It's your guy Chase Johnson, aka 5100 CJ, back at you with another reaction video. And today we're going to talk about what everybody's talking about, but I'm going to cover it from a few different angles. But before I dive into it, let's go ahead and look at what's kind of going on. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I could not find the court documents. I've heard that you can pay for it. I'm not that invested in the details, and I'm not going to do all that. I have a few different messages that I want to kind of push in this conversation. It's not completely about those two. It's really, you'll see. But let's go ahead and look at what's going on.
Judge just granted Halle Bailey a restraining order against DDG after she claims he laid hands on her while they were discussing visitation for their son Halo. She was passing Halo off to DDG. He became enraged as they were discussing visitation. They began to wrestle. That's when she claimed he put her head into the steering wheel, chipping her tooth as he was pulling her hair. She claimed that the wrestling didn't stop until she began to cry, but she did not feel safe letting Halo go with DDG, so she got in the car. They rode to DDG's house where she hysterically told his family about what had went down, and they agreed to look after Halo. Also alleged that DDG did some weird stuff by entering her home without permission and sending her a photo of her bed, claiming, "Oh, now I know what you be on." She claims that when he sent that text, he assumed she was dealing with other men. 4 days after that incident, DDG came to her home again to pick up Halo, which is when she broke the news that he couldn't hang out with him because he was sick. At that point, she claims DDG became verbally abusive, claims he actually smashed the Ring camera and ran off with her phone, drove a little bit down the street and threw the phone out the window and told her, "Go get it, B." Halle claims that this prompted her to file a restraining order against DDG, and after a judge reviewed all of the footage, they agreed that he needs to stay at least 100 yards away from her, and the judge gave Halle permission to take their 18-month-old son Halo to Italy so she can film a movie.
Okay, so there's a couple things I want to talk about. Let's first talk about domestic violence, wrestling in relationships, fighting between a man and a woman in a relationship. The way that it's pushed in society is, whether it's a regular person or a celebrity, is the woman's always going to be at the angle of the victim, not the victimizer. See Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, right? We got to go ahead and accept that that's what's going to happen first, right? One of the first things I ever saw was her keeping his child away. Now, did it happen like that? I don't know. There's a couple things I could show you that kind of hints towards maybe she is controlling. And me personally, I have a little bit of bias when it comes to this because I've had my child used against me in so many different ways, and it's still happening to this day, that I kind of have a bias to where I'm gonna kind of lean towards the father because I've seen it a lot. I've experienced it as a child. I've experienced it as an adult. I've watched it happen to people I love the most. So I'm a little biased. I'm not gonna act like I'm not a little biased. But that's what struck me first. And then she kind of made an apology saying that, she might have overreacted. And now you're hearing that when he was coming to get her and they were having a conversation about custody, which I understand them conversations can get heated. Definitely got heated with me and my ex-wife. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I can see it getting heated. But here's what struck me, right? When he came, I guess the second time, I'm trying to stay on point, right? The second time he came, she was like, he cannot come with you because he's sick. Now, I need you to understand that frame of mind, right? Now, let's look at it from two different angles. Let's look at it from mom's side, and let's look at it from dad's side. Mom, women are more nurturing, usually. That's not always the case, but we just going ahead and assume that she's a nurturing mom. So her son's sick. She don't want him to go out and get sick, whatever the case may be. So she's like, nah, I don't want to do that. He can't come with you. Now let's look at the dad's side. He pulls up to think he's going to get his child. I guess they had some kind of understanding of when he was supposed to come, right? And he gets there and gets told, no, he can't come with you because he's sick. Now, I'm one to believe he didn't just get sick when DDG was en route. He had to have been sick the night before, the morning, whatever. I don't know the times, but That's probably what happened. You don't just get instantly sick, right? Or you might have noticed it at one point, but this is the problem that I have, right, with moms. I understand your nurturing side. I get that you want to protect your baby, but initially you come with the attitude that you can't get him. See, that's a problem for fathers, right? That's a problem. Imagine if he did it, right? Then women tend to understand how that's, wait a minute, you just can't tell me X, Y, and Z, right? This is what I'm trying to push out here. So it's not wild to me that it got physical. Like, it shouldn't, right? But I know how things can go, especially if a woman is feeling emotional or a man is upset and feeling emotional. Like, I can see things getting physical, right? And she even showed pictures, right? She showed a chipped tooth picture and she showed bruises on her arm. Now, me personally, I have caused bruises on arms. And let me tell you how I did it. By doing that. Getting up off me, slanging her to the side, like, bro, we're not gonna do all this smacking physical. The angle that is not being told, which I guess it wouldn't be because it's her filing the restraining order, is what led to this and what did she do, right? And you've seen videos, which I will show you, of her basically saying she likes toxicity in relationships.
Anxious attachment. Yeah. So why do you think we both are that way? Is it the way we just grew up?
I think so.
Yeah, so basically, in a relationship, I think I have anxious attachment style. Everybody knows I'm an Aries, I'm a fire sign. I get very passionate. I seem nice online and innocent and everything, but you guys do not know. I will go to battle with my yelling, with my words, everything. I'm good at that, right? I like passion and answers. And if I gotta yell or check anyone, that's what I gotta do. That's just the way I be.
She pops off, she go there. And look, shout out to the sisters, but we know y'all love to pop off, right? And from initially seeing her, she seems like a very soft, nice woman. But let me tell you something. It's not always what it seems. I've dealt with so many women in my time. I've dealt with women that present that way and really are that way a lot of the time until they get upset or something doesn't go their way, right? I'm not saying that's the case, but usually that's how it goes. Men ain't just putting their hands on a woman for nothing. Not to say he's justified, but it's not usually going like he just walks in the spot, gets mad and slaps shit or you know what I'm saying? It's just, that's really not how it goes. So we dealt with what happened, right? She's filed a 52-page report, and people are talking about two things when it comes to this report. It's lengthy and very detailed, right? I don't know how many court documents y'all have seen. I just got court documents for a small modification of the custody arrangements me and my ex-wife have. It's like 30 pages. It's not that big of a deal, bro. The length and detail, like, that don't really mean much to me. However, people are also talking about how hard it is to get a restraining order. Let me say this. As a person that's had one put on me, and I know people are gonna be like, he must have beat women. Check my jacket, ain't no domestic violence, ain't no physical altercation on my record. It's just, it doesn't exist, right? But I do have a restraining order against me, right? And something that popped out to me was the verbiage in it. And my daughter's name was in it. So basically I need to be kept from my ex-wife and my daughter, right? Now, to an extent, because of what I said to her, you could say I deserved it, right? I talked bad to her, I made a threat to her. Gotta own that, right? The circumstances around it, she knows she didn't have to do that, but what I learned later is what I'm trying to kind of convey right now. There's a game that's usually played with three things: domestic violence, restraining orders, or accusing a man of touching his child or children, right? This is a playbook that so many women have used to get custody, to get alimony, to get anything favorable in divorce court or child support court or just appellate court. Like, this just goes on all the time. So when I saw this, that was really my first thought. I don't really have much information because I don't have the documents in front of me. Like I said, I looked up what I could look up, didn't really find them, right? But nonetheless, I did what I could do. So let's look at some stuff, right? I got some screenshots here. from the paperwork, I guess. Okay, so this is Haley texting DDG's mom about, I guess, about a pickup or something of that nature. I'm back end of month. He misses you too. Yay, that's not too long. Hi, I just wanted to, no, that's what she said before. This is the message in question, right? Hi, just wanted to keep you in the loop. We will be back on the 11th now. Haven't heard about Moo getting Halo later this week as we lightly talked before. If he will be in town, would you like to get him the 27th and return him the 4th? Otherwise, I can keep him until we're back, but just wanted to let you know we'll be back the 11th, right? Okay, that seems fair. I'm doing this. I'll have him back then, or you can just come and get him. That's pretty cool, right? Mom texts back, okay, and I will double check with him and let you know. Hi, I forgot to text you, and he said that he will wait until you get back to get him. Now, people are saying that this is evidence that she's not keeping the child from him. This is what it proves to me. It proves that she doesn't always do it. Because I can show you messages in my phone the same way, where, well, not now, but back in the day, before we had a custody arrangement in order. She would be okay sometimes she wouldn't. And it's like, people look at it like he can't say, no, I'd rather choose option B versus option A, even though that's less time. I'll just wait till you get back. Now, that could be a guy that really wants to see his baby mama, or that could just be a guy that maybe he has something else to do. You know, he's a millionaire, he's a big streamer, YouTuber. Like, he's not just chopped liver, right? So he might have been busy. Who knows, right? So I didn't see that as him not trying to get his child. I'm not gonna give her this crown of best co-parent mom ever because she's making an arrangement. Like, that happens. Just show us the times where things didn't go right? That's what I'm more interested in. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say about him and her. And I will say this too. If he did take pictures of her house, that's crazy. If he is, because the rumor is, there was two different things I saw. This is why I hate not having the paperwork. Two things I saw was he slammed her head against the stairs. That's what chipped her tooth. Or she got in the car with him after things got physical, or they got angry with each other and he slammed her head against the steering wheel. But she said she was in the backseat with her son. It's a lot, right? And it's also said that she even talked about online how she chipped her tooth, and people are saying, well, that was her trying to protect her dude. Like, I don't fucking know, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not diving deep into the details, because people lie. I'm sure he's lied about something. I'm sure she's lied about something. Like, people tend to do this, especially when you're talking about going in the white folks' court. This is just, it is what it is. This is the game, right? Very few people go in there just telling the truth. They tell whatever angle they need to tell to make themselves look whatever they're trying to make themselves look like, right? This is not uncommon. This is just how the game goes. So let's put them to the side. Why did I even decide to do a video about this? Because this ain't even my normal type of content, right? Except that I'm a father that kind of talks about fathers' rights and things of that nature, right? So here's the second thing I want to talk about. My problem is with culture, and specifically Black culture, right? And not every Black person does this. Not every Black person stands for this. I'm actually one that does it. I was married to my child's mother. So here we go. My problem with Black culture is that we don't have enough real, meaningful, God-led relationships. A lot of the time it's, you're pretty, you're handsome, your ass fat, you gotta, it's physical attraction, it's fun, it's happiness, it's all of these things that really don't stand up to the test of time, right? Really stand up to building relationship. It's no foundation. It's a relationship built on silly putty. It's eventually going to sink, right? And in our community, you got music that pushes it. You have TV shows that push it. You have social media that continually pushes these type of narratives. And looking at them, they're young. So I'm not here to say I don't do it or didn't do it. Like, I fall into these things. I'm from the culture too. So I'm not here pointing fingers like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been there, so I can understand it to an extent. But this is the problem. They weren't built on anything. They were just two successful, attractive people that had a lot of things going for themselves, and they linked up. I think they linked up in 2023, something like that, and they had a child 2 years later. Let me explain something to younger people, and I'm still young, but younger people, 2 years is nothing. To have a child in 2 years is not like, oh, they really built something. You can build, you can build a solid foundation in 2 years, right? I'm not against that. But to say that they're in love and they had this great relationship and they just had to go split amicably. Like, we're in a new co-parent culture. That's what this is. We're a co-parenting community, right? And this is the co-parenting part, I would say, is more so new, but the split family thing, this has been going on since the 90s and 80s, right? The black community has basically been going downhill when we're talking about marriage percentages. Now, marriage doesn't necessarily, dictate that you're going to have a successful relationship, but it does show a form of commitment. It does show a form of honoring each other to commit to that level. And the problem is we're not doing that. We're not taking the steps that it takes to really build something. And like I said, I've been guilty of it. That's my second point. So it's like, when I see this, I'm not shocked. I'm actually, when it comes to DDG and Halle's situation, I'm actually tired of seeing relationships go like this. And that's from my personal surroundings in Memphis, Tennessee. That's from friends that I got overseas. That's from friends I know in Texas and in Cali. Like, it's not even a city thing. It's not even a neighborhood thing. It's a cultural thing, right? And many of us are just locked into this form of baby mama, baby daddy. Like, that's what so many of us do. So when I see these things happening, I'm just tired of seeing so many of us smashing, linking up, and then a child is born, and now we're trying to make a relationship work, and it's dysfunctional. And now co-parent, that's how co-parenting has become default. It's the number one setting damn near in the black community, and that is very problematic. I'm not trying to quote Republicans, but the problem is that it's not that a father is not involved. The problem is that two parents are not in the home building a unit. We have a relationship problem, not a mother or father being involved problem. That's not the problem. The problem is family. So we constantly see these things and we're wondering, why is this happening? It's because our family structure was definitely torn apart in America, and it's profitable for us to be baby mamas and baby daddies. I had a homegirl that brought this up to me. It was interesting, right? She said, damn, ain't it interesting how they have a Father's Day and a Mother's Day, not a Parents' Day? That's interesting to me. It's almost like this was orchestrated. Yeah, so I just look at these situations and I'm just like, it's common. They just rich. It's just making the tabloids. It's just making shade room. It's doing all of these things. And it's like, this is so common amongst black people, bro. Myself, not included in this one. I'm included in a lot of BS that go on in our culture, but I'm not in on this one. But it's so common, bro. It's just not even a shock, right? So my final point is, like, when it comes to having this culture and then it goes to court, it gets nasty, bro. Especially with a baby mama and baby daddy. That's why I tell men, and I caught hell for this from both sides, if you think you love that woman and y'all are building a relationship and you do not have children, marry her. Because when you go to court, you have a better leg to stand on as a husband versus a baby daddy. They're gonna view you as the child's father versus a non-custodial parent. Now, that verbiage, you don't have to accept non-custodial parent, but that's another conversation for another day. Ultimately, you are in a better situation when you are a husband. It's not always the case, but it's mostly the case. You get viewed different. You basically have to deal with custody automatically when it comes to a divorce. So if you don't work out, at least you got some kind of backing by the state that puts you in a better position, right? If you should go that route. But the move that she's pulling, let me say this, it's a move. Like, it's not she's just distraught and she's trying to do the right thing. Like, she's making a move. Do not get it twisted. Haley is definitely making a move for either full custody, and I wouldn't even say a money arrangement because she's well off, but well off women do the same thing. But more so my point is full custody, because why? That'll hurt him the most. Women will just do those type of things, right? That's why she's filing now, because they're trying to get a custody arrangement.
I came on the stream very, very frustrated. I literally just wanted to see my son. That's it. I just wanted to see him. He's sick. I haven't seen him in 3 days. Why he been sick? I don't even know how he got sick. I wanted to see my son. And I was told no. Actually, I was invited. That's what people don't understand. I got invited to come see him, right? And I don't want to put no family in it, but we speak through somebody in my family in order for me to see him, because me and her don't get along. I was told to pull up to see my son. I pull up to see my son and I get kicked out. Like, imagine somebody texting you like, hey, your son's sick, come see him. I was really supposed to pick him up, but I'm like, nah, you know what? I ain't gonna pick him up. I don't want to bring him outside because he's sick. I don't want to take him out of the crib. You feel me? So I'm like, I ain't gonna take him out the crib. I'm gonna just pull up and then I'm gonna just kick it with him downstairs, and then you can stay upstairs or whatever, and then let me just bond with him for at least an hour, 2 hours, maybe just, just kick it with him, feed him something, just regular little dad shit, make him feel a little better, lay down, watch a movie or something. And I was told to get out. I just didn't understand it, and I just got frustrated. I might have came on live a little impulsively. Is that how you say the word?
So let me just say this, and I understand it, right? He said he went over there to basically see his son. He was invited there, and I don't know, that's a little fishy. But she did say in the paperwork that he came to get his son and was told he could not get his son. So it would probably make sense that he was like, well, I'll just, let me just spend a little time with him in the crib, whatever. But here's the thing about that. When you're not in a relationship with the woman anymore, that's just not how it goes. And this is my whole point about co-parenting. This is my whole point about us not having family units, because it's unnatural. Any father would want to do that, but you can't, right? And then he admitted, I made a live and I was impulsive, and he shot off. He absolutely did. And that's not good for your child either. So I'm not gonna give DDG passes for his behavior, bro. I understand it, and I probably am a little biased because I'm a man and a father. They have gone through some similar things, right? He got more money, he got more clout, he has more success, but at the end of the day, he's a man and a father just like me. There's no difference. So all in all, bro, these type of situations, bro, they're gonna keep happening until we, one, have God in our life for real, not halfway. And I'm talking to myself as well. And then we take our time of getting to know people and building actual foundations for a strong and healthy relationship. I'm not talking about happy. People talk happy all day. I don't really care about happiness. I'm with Kevin Samuels when he said that. It's not about happiness. I'm not saying duty either. I'm saying peace. I'm more interested in peace and being well-rounded in all things that we do, because all emotions are going to happen. It is what it is. But can we be peaceful at the end of it all, right? We just have to prioritize family and getting to know one another and stop being so in lust and love and sex and drugs and fame and clout. Like, these things are really tearing us apart with social media. That's all I gotta say about this. I'm probably not gonna do any more videos on this because I don't even like celebrity type of stuff. But as a father, I felt it important to kind of speak on these things, and hopefully they figure it out. I've gone through some similar things, and I still go through things now, but it's better than it was. I can say that. It's not as toxic as it once was. So hopefully he gets in that situation too. But anyway, man, it's your guy, Chase Johnson, aka 5100CJ. Make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bells. You get all of my content as soon as it drops. And with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all with the next video. You dig.
Dark side.
Hey, my love.